Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and over the summer, I got a chance to go to Nashville BrickCon, a LEGO convention set in Nashville, Tennessee, where of course I met up with my friend Jonathan, aka Mini Superheroes Today, and so many other folks as we embarked on a crazy convention experience. And so, let's jump into the incredible story right now. We got a chance to be there for 4 full days, so I can't wait to tell you everything that happened in this convention vlog. While I've visited the legendary city of Nashville a couple of times, I've never been for a LEGO convention. And so, despite getting in at approximately around midnight, the boys were still up and about, and I got a chance to meet up with my buddies Cool Guy Dom, Ethan the Artisan, and Jonathan, Mini Superheroes Today. I was here with my buddy Robert, who I participated at LEGO Masters with, and while of course some of the others went to sleep, we had a lot of work to do, and it turns out we had so much startup work we didn't even sleep that night. Still, we were ready to go the next day for the convention setup. While it wasn't officially open, there were a couple of speedbill events, which of course, your boy Duck Bricks took the crowd in, as always, destroying everyone in the speed build competition, and we even got to participate in a bit of a raffle, although sadly, we never actually got to win. Much like in every event, we somehow never win any of the raffles. It was super cool seeing some really rare items on display. I got a chance to check out some inside tour sets that folks had and they were showing around, which was very, very interesting, especially because that was one of the ones I didn't own yet. And I also got a chance to check out some of the mocks as they were being set up, which I really appreciated being able to come a couple of days early, because oftentimes when I'm at conventions like these, I have other obligations and usually I'm hosting panels or doing events and don't really get a chance to take a look at the incredible mocks, so it was really fun just walking around and seeing some great builds like this modern version of the classic LEGO Cloud City set built with modern techniques. Of course, folks are pulling out rare and strange LEGO items left and right, like this crazy misprinted LEGO Clone Trooper with the printing on the back of the helmet, which is super cool to see, as well as just all sorts of different new mocks and details, which I thought was super cool. There was even a bit of an auction going on, as well as a yard sale before the convention started, and while it might not have been quite as crazy as some of the other LEGO auctions I've been to, especially like the ones in Chicago, this still had a ton to offer, especially because someone brought a ton of vintage sets, and we can take a look at those when we get to the end of the video for the haul. My buddy Ethan the Artisan brought all of his Minecraft sculptures on display, so I went around improving them, as you can see here. You can see just fixing up some changes here and there, made some great improvements to his builds, which of course were super cool to see, and it was very fun messing with his models. Of course, all sorts of incredible builds were on display, like Mark and Steven's incredible Tron City that actually lights up. And as I was going around, I even got a chance to meet some young fans and sign some LEGO boxes, which of course we love doing, and I added some great enhancements to Rob's signature too. I'll actually do a double signature on
you already
it's a cross out Roberts.
See dark circles under my eye and go on for the attack.
Let's Rob.
I'm gonna move on you.
There's my addition to Robert.
There's no problem with signature
shows his average mood.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
LEGO Masters.
Appreciate it. Whenever we're checking out a new city or a city we haven't been to in a while, we have to check out the LEGO store. And I was pretty shocked to see this one because they had a whole clearance section with sets on sale, which I'd certainly never see at my local LEGO store in Washington or New York, so that was super cool to see. And we brought a whole squad over, like Gene's version, Ash Potatoes Builds, and everyone in between. The whole LEGO crew pulled up to the LEGO store, which was a ton of fun. Which of course also meant we had an absolutely delicious dinner afterwards. You know, in Nashville, you gotta have some great barbecue, some great steak, and great meat, and this was a great day. Since the convention technically hadn't started yet, we were pretty much free all night to go on and head out and hit Nashville downtown, which was a pretty crazy experience. This wasn't even like a Friday night or anything to my recollection. I don't even think it was anything special. It was kind of like a weekday, but it was still pretty crazy to see. It is honestly stunning to just see how many people are out there checking out the city streets, and we had an absolute blast exploring around and maybe having a little too much fun. You know, I think I should let the clips speak for themselves.
Say that again, Robert. On the count
I'm from 中国 the middle country. 你好，你好。
China!
USA!
No! Traitor! As you can see, we had so much fun, Robert forgot what country he was from by the end of the night. And this was just the first of many. As you know, here on Duck Breaks, we like to party hard, work hard, and have a ton of fun, so Nashville was the perfect place to do that. After an incredible night out, after an all-nighter of no sleep, I think we pulled close to another one, we got up bright and early the next day to get on over to the LEGO convention, where Rob and I had a whole-on booth where we could actually meet people, talk about LEGO Masters, and even get a chance to see some incredible builds. Let's check one out right now. Yo! Number one, as he should be.
Because I wasn't there.
Oh, because you weren't there.
Legitimately, I would have cooked you.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I'm telling
you
that
know?
right now.
I
I'm
know.
a faster builder than Duck Breaks.
Wait, no, I'm not talking about speed building. I'm talking about LEGO Masters.
Oh, true, yeah.
Speed building, you're done.
No!
Speed building, you're done.
Delusional.
You're so cooked.
No, you're
so
delusional.
Cooked. One of our personal favorite activities at LEGO conventions is hosting LEGO trivia. I've posted a couple of these sessions here on the Duck Breaks channel, but I also do want to keep some of the questions a surprise. Typically, we get a whole crowd, maybe even up to 30 or 40 people, all competing in a massive Kahoot to be able to see who will take home the prize of LEGO Trivia Champion. It's kind of our classic special now, and we'll probably be doing it a lot more in the future. Of course, as we were going around, I got to meet a ton of super cool folks, like this stormtrooper who had a classic upscaled LEGO blaster, which was one of the coolest costumes that I got to see. So we have a gigantic LEGO stormtrooper blaster here, and you've got them stored in the blaster, which is so cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Glory to the Empire.
Glory.
I love Palpatine. I voted for Palpatine. Oh yeah.
2024.
Of course, it was awesome supporting my fellow LEGO influencers as well, seeing them do a full-on panel where people got a chance to ask them questions and participate in Q&A in front of the live audience. It was super cool hearing from them, and especially hearing stories that I myself hadn't heard before. And you can see Robert was very enthused to hear all these stories about LEGO as well.
Serve and to protect. Obedience is happiness, and thoughts can be dangerous.
After hosting one more trivia session, which you just saw a clip of, and meeting a young fan who actually made some incredible drawings of us, thank you so much for doing that, Rob and I took a quick pit stop to get some delicious barbecue. I kid you not, the barbecue in Nashville is definitely some of the best I've had in my life, and I've eaten a lot of food, so I know where I'm going to be eating next time because that was delicious. But before we knew it, the convention was over, and it was time for level 2, as Ethan the Artisan would say. Of course, we got a whole crew to go out the next night and had a ton of fun hitting the clubs in Nashville. Seeing so much live music and there being so much culture for music there was really, really fun. And coming from a place where oftentimes, even in New York, a lot of the clubs are obviously just DJs and playing music on speakers, it was a really nice and welcome change of pace to have literally every single club be pretty much full of just live musicians. And it was very rare to find one that literally wasn't. I think that was literally the only one that wasn't. It was just a completely different vibe and energy, and we had an absolute blast. The next day, we got up, guess what, bright and early again, because before the convention started, we had a very important task to do at about 5:30 in the morning. You see, my buddy Jonathan was recording his Guinness World Record of the largest Marvel superheroes and DC superheroes LEGO collection ever. He has collected pretty much every single set, all the Comic-Con exclusives, and was counting every book and even every trading card to get the world record of the biggest LEGO superheroes collection, and he gathered every single item in his garage, which you can see clips of right here. I'm gonna let Jonathan explain the full story whenever he gets a video out on this for his own channel, which I'm sure is gonna come at some point, but basically the process of getting a Guinness World Record is you essentially have to film on video in one take with an expert overseeing it, with me of course being the expert, making sure that he actually has exactly these sets that he says he has, which means he had to show every single item them on camera with a clicker in one individual take, with a ton of backup cameras filming just in case the phone were to die or run out of space. It was a pretty crazy time. But of course, to thank us, Jonathan also gave us a full-on tour of his LEGO collection, which was super cool. I hadn't been in about a year, maybe several months. I don't really remember the last time I was there, but it certainly had grown quite a lot, which is also what he says every time he visits my collection in Seattle. But you know, it's always really cool getting a chance to visit one of my buddies' LEGO collections and seeing all sorts of crazy things there. Even at a Sam Raimi Spider-Man collection, which was super cool too, because it's not something he really covers a ton on his channel. Of course, Jonathan's collection was full of all sorts of fascinating items, like original LEGO displays, like this gigantic Rex Danger Vest, which of course is just a miniature version of Jonathan himself from the LEGO Movie 2, all sorts of rare LEGO Indiana Jones items, rare LEGO sets here and there, and it was just super cool to have him give us a full-on tour. I'm gonna go ahead and roll some clips of this tour right now so you can hear it from Jonathan himself.
This was an end cap display from the top of somewhere, I don't know, some sort, but it's metal, and it is the biggest Rex Danger Vest I have in my collection, so that's very cool. Other than me, yes. So that's very cool. Of course, tons of stuff on display, like, you know, small sets, all sealed, all that cool stuff. This is cool. This is a life-size Harrison Ford from Applebee's. This was a stand-up display there, and I was able to get it when they retired it, so super cool. Behind, you'll see on the walls, we've got a Black Widow that was a LEGO store display, as well as this Iron Man, which was also a display. You could see on his hand and his shoulder, there's holes. You could put fish hooks in, so he would have like hung in the window like he was flying. That's cool. My LEGO city is always a work in progress, so you'll always see pieces and construction laying around. But yeah, super cool there. Again, going to some of our crazier items. Over on this side, we've got this Indiana Jones. And this is the only one known to exist in the world. I've never seen a picture of it anywhere except for my friend Fred, who gifted me this. When they were taking down the Indiana Jones store displays in 2008, his mom asked what they were going to do with them, and they're like, oh, you can have them. So this is a lenticular Indiana Jones. If you move, you'll see his whip cracks over his head. But if that's not cool enough, unfortunately, we don't have the entire displays of them, but we do have enough that we can kind of piece together a little bit. These were the like kind of transparent vinyl pieces that were hanging in the window. So you can see it has like the artwork from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on it with like some of those, you know, drawings and things like that. And unfortunately, like the LEGO store had already like destroyed them and broken them up by the time that they were given to Fred. But those are literally the only ones known to exist for sure. So those are what they are. Star Wars stuff on display. We are doing the speed run version of the tour because we have to get to the collection, so it's all good. The one thing we'll take a look at is back here. This is the 2008 Indiana Jones store display. I was at a store in Pittsburgh and walked in and found this, and I was just absolutely jaw-dropped. I have told the full story on my channel before, but in terms of this literally may be the one that I saw as a kid at my local Target in 2008.
Like the actual...
The actual one.
Oh
and
my
I wasn't
God.
on the internet a ton as a kid, so like this is where I discovered about LEGO Indiana Jones. And I've told the story on my channel if you want to check out that video.
Subscribe to Mini Superheroes today.
I've watched that before.
But yeah, it's absolutely insane. There's no way to verify it, but just based off of how many Targets got it, logistics,
Location,
and
where you
what
got
location it came from. It was in a different store in Pittsburgh, but they said they got it from about an hour south of Pittsburgh, which is where I live. And growing up, I was at every Target in that area, and the only one that had this was my store. So it's very, very likely that I own the one that inspired me to get into Indiana Jones. This was the dressing around that to make it look like Indiana Jones branding. I also have the other half of the box, so you could put it the full way around. So I have the entire crate that you put around there. 100,000 subs, let's go. I picked this up recently, Ian McKellen autograph. Nice. Pretty cool. This is signed by Paul Rudd, Ant-Man and the Wasp comic. Of course, you got to have the Hasselhoff in here. Here's all of my Marvel movie tickets from the 10-year anniversary film festival. Yeah, crazy stuff. Had a fan make a Funko Pop of me.
Yo.
That was
Yo.
cool. Got some original Lego die-cast cars.
Whoa.
A little plate signed by Will Arnett, compliment of Chris. Here we have the 3D printed duck element, so it actually moves and quacks like the real Lego duck.
I
which
need
is
the green
cool.
one.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Here we've got 2 Marvel TT Video Game Awards for Superheroes 2 and Avengers, Rocket and Cap respectively. Chrome Vader and Chrome Stormtrooper, Mr. Gold, Smooth Hair Leia, crazy stuff. Wayne Knight, who played Nedry, so that's cool. Got the WinKit instructions signed, and Bugle and Sanctum instructions signed by the set designers. Down here we've got Lego employee business card. They don't even do these anymore, so these are some of the last ones.
I need that Stuart
were given
Harris
out.
one.
He gave me his last one.
I know.
So that is
I
his
remember that.
one. Got the Chrome Stormtrooper here in the bag, White Boba Fett, Comic-Con Captain America. I wonder if these could have counted for the world record because they were superheroes.
Oh, they probably.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask if you counted Incredibles.
I have Incredibles, but I just decided to keep it Marvel and DC since that's what I started with. But yeah, Barb from Stranger Things, the opening minifigures from the Nashville Lego store in 2012. This one is signed by Anthony Daniels, that played C-3PO.
Cool.
This one is signed by Ahmed Best, that played Jar Jar Binks. Shout out, Chris.
Of course,
This one is signed by Ian McDiarmid, that played the Emperor.
Good.
This one is signed by Andy Serkis, that played Claw in Marvel. And when I posted that I got this, a bunch of people commented and like, why didn't you have him sign a Gollum set? And I'm like, really?
You're watching mini superheroes today.
I mean, I'm not saying that I don't get it or that wouldn't be cool. But like, really? We looked at this tower in the world record video, but this one is signed by Tatiana Maslany, that played She-Hulk. Just met her a couple weeks ago. That's awesome. Behind me on the wall is basically every single non-Comic-Con Lego Superheroes minifigure ever made. The only places that there are holes in the wall, like you might see a Batman missing or a Guardian missing or something, is because I'm currently working on a video where I need that figure. So that's really the only exception to the rule.
How'd you attach the base plates to the wall?
Command strips.
Okay.
Really? It works that well?
Yep, you need one on all 4 corners, and it needs to be like the Velcro-y ones, like the white Velcro ones.
Those are really.
Really? I should do that. Yeah.
So here we've got a Lego system accessory pack where you get more pieces for that. I built a little house out of Modulex just to show what you could make with Modulex, like at scale.
Nice,
So that is pretty cool.
To
Here we've got our Jango Fett pen, one of the rarest Lego Star Wars pens they've made, specifically to have it in the original packaging. Here we've got lots of different coins from various eras of Legoland over the years. Most of these are from European Legolands. I guess I shouldn't say most, because 4 of them are from California, but these ones are from overseas, and that's cool. Here we've got a crazy one.
Oh, yeah.
This was gifted to myself and Chris, actually.
Mostly
by-
thanks to you. I appreciate that.
I suppose that is true, but this was made at the minifigure factory in the flagship store in New York City. So we've got the Lego logo on there with a completely original Clone Trooper design on there, torso. So as far as we know,
deals for that.
Yeah.
I'm never selling mine.
as far as we know, ours are the only 2 that are like out there. They probably have some among employees, but they'll never make it out. So Chris and I have literally the only 2 that will ever hit the streets. Now this is kind of cool. It's quirky. When these got delayed, Land had already sent us them and said if we want to open them and build them, we can, but we can never post a photo, video, or any media using these. So these are the original unreleased prototype copies of all 3 of the canceled, postponed, whatever you'd want to call it, mechs.
Whoa.
So, if you just look at them on the shelf, it's like, oh, okay, why are those on display?
Yeah.
But literally, like, by my count, maybe only 4 or 5 people got sent those. So, like, those are all 1 of 5 max.
Crazy.
Which is insane. Of course, we've got our store display here from
that's so
Infinity
cool.
War.
I missed
All the minifigs.
Those are really fun.
This one is my favorite tube, though, because you've got all the original Marvel ones, including Deadpool and Wolverine there, but you also get DC. Just think, even outside of Lego, how many actual things exist with Marvel and DC on the same product. It's next to none, so it's just incredibly cool. Of course, got all the Toby sets on
I've never
display
seen
and
them all,
everything.
like grouped together before. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's not everyone, but
This is the one.
yeah, it's my favorite ones personally. So that's really cool. This is where I film all my videos right here. I'm either standing here.
Famous table.
That's it. I'm either standing right here talking to you guys, or I'm sitting basically where Chris is standing and filming at the table. But this is the background. So there's your whole behind the scenes look of everything.
Thanks to Jonathan for showing us his LEGO collection, and while Dom may have been locked out after getting literally 2 hours of sleep, it was time for Rob and I to lock in and host the next trivia session.
In Lego Monkey Kid, why does Zhen Jingtian, the Azure Lion, seek to overthrow the Jade Emperor and seize his throne?
But other than those, I'd probably say the Indiana Jones Temple of the Golden Idol from last year.
Altogether, this convention and trip was a lot of fun, and if Nashville Brick Fan Expo happens again next year, you bet I will almost certainly be there. I find myself wishing I got even more footage of the actual convention, and I'm kind of surprised I didn't actually get as much footage that I thought I did, but I did manage to get a lot of LEGO, so now it's time to check out the hall. Of course, it's not a LEGO convention without a hall, and this time it is actually one of the strangest LEGO convention halls ever. Most of my purchases were from one individual who brought a ton of vintage and sealed LEGO sets from all different eras of LEGO history. I mentioned I was on the hunt for LEGO Snap and weird LEGO stuff like that, so he actually was able to go the next day and bring some LEGO Snap sets he had sealed, which I'm very grateful for because these are some of the weirdest LEGO products ever, and I cannot wait to cover these more in depth in a video. Other than Snap though, I got some really cool vintage smaller LEGO Technic sets like these small box sets over here. These are just really cute little tiny ones that are always going to be good to just open up for the first time, brand new and sealed. This really interesting France exclusive Team Telecom set with some pink bicycles, some very interesting builds for that one, and very unique style of building. We got this little Alpha Team set, and honestly I can't remember if I own this one already, but it wasn't that expensive, so I figured, you know what, why not? And then I also got one of the coolest items from him, which is a LEGO Factory set. If you don't know what LEGO Factory is, it basically was a lineup kind of like LEGO Ideas, but back in the day, where you could actually submit your own designs online and have them turned into official LEGO sets. Well, the crazy thing about set 5524 Airport is that one of those models was actually built by a kid who was the son of the person who sold these to me. So he actually was able to tell a personal story behind this, which I thought was super cool that this set actually had a story. It also is signed by the kid right there, so you can actually see there is a signature on the box of the kid who years ago actually built one of the models here, which I just thought was super cool because I actually got something from the collection of one of the people who designed this set. So it's super awesome. I think it's very cool that LEGO did that sort of program, and doubly cool that now I have a box that's actually signed by one of the fan designers. One of the other rare items that I got here was thanks to my friend Jonathan, aka Mini Superheroes Today. He managed to get me this LEGO Store Grand Opening Store Truck set, which I just haven't managed to get yet because I haven't really been to a ton of LEGO Store Grand Openings, so very grateful for that. And speaking of Jonathan, he was able to get me something super special, and he sold it to me for such a good price. It basically was just a gift, so I'm very grateful for that. But that is the Solar Explorer from Life on Mars. If you don't know the story behind this, this was actually my very first LEGO set ever. It's kind of the set that made me fall in love with LEGO. This used to belong to my cousin and I got it secondhand, but I fell in love with the set because you can do this with it. You can take the cockpit and separate it out, take the engines and separate those out, take the middle section, turn it into a land base, separate out the droid that fits into the actual build itself. Everything is a fully modular system, and I just thought it was so cool how this toy I had all these individual bricks that I could then use to make modules and interconnect into their own subsystems in itself. It was just such a cool concept to me as a kid, and I have so many fond memories of playing with this as a child, and so he found a copy of it sealed, which is almost impossible to find, and made sure I got it for honestly less than what a used version would cost, so I'm super grateful for that. Thank you, Jonathan, and I absolutely will treasure this. I am not a big sealed collector. I do not collect sealed sets. I will be opening up every single one of these other sealed sets and building them. But this is one exception. This is the kind of set that is gonna stay sealed for me forever because it represents something really important to me as the set that kind of got me into LEGO and my very first LEGO set that I remember playing with. So that's a big deal for me, so I'm really happy to actually own it in the box. Speaking of Jonathan, he also was able to get me this really cool special item here, and this was actually part of my birthday gift that initially we were thinking of doing something else, but I decided on the Lord of the Rings thing instead. So you might be wondering, well, what's the deal with this? You know, it's just the instruction manual to the Lord of the Rings Rivendell set, but as you open it up, this has actually been signed by John Rhys-Davies, aka Gimli. That's right, Jonathan is friends with the actor who played Gimli, so he got him to sign this for me and gave it to me as a birthday gift, which is so cool and special to actually have a LEGO instruction manual signed by one of the actors who appeared in the movie. It's so cool, and it honestly is one of the most special gifts I've been given. I will need to find, like, some way to mount this on my wall. I don't really know how I'm gonna do it. I will figure out a way to do it, though. So, if it does mean cutting this out and making it its own framed piece, maybe I'll do that, but I also will feel kind of bad, like, cutting this page out, so if folks have ideas on how I can display this, please do let me know. Otherwise, I might take this and, you know, kind of make it a display of its own. So, I just think it's super cool, very grateful to Jonathan for getting this signed by the actual actor, and my axe, and it's so cool to add this to my collection. And finally, one thing that's not LEGO, but I really wanted to highlight, is something that was made on the day of the convention. A fan in the audience actually sketched myself and Robert by hand with a pencil by sitting and watching us on our panels, and this was so cool. She's super talented, as you can see, and it's easily one of the coolest things I've ever been given. Thank you so much for this gift. If you're watching this video, this is definitely one of the best things that someone has given me at a convention, and I definitely will treasure this and really wanted to showcase it in this video too. That's all for the haul, a pretty interesting one of mostly sealed stuff this time, which is not something I typically get, but you know, the prices were so good, I just couldn't say no, and I can't wait to get building on all these sets but one. Alright, and with that, I have summed up my Nashville, Tennessee LEGO convention experience. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and vlogs like these coming your way very soon. Thanks so much, and bye for now.